Thank you for staying with us and welcome back. The adoption of social media has been said to better the lots of SMEs financially, lower the entry barriers for some, and significantly reduce the cost of doing business. Social media can be a great way to connect with customers abroad, building your brand, providing services, and reducing the distance between your company and its markets. But are SMEs leveraging on these opportunities to take their businesses beyond the shores of the country? Can they draw foreign investments and earnings through these platforms? Please, let's hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-8038-4663. Madam Isi,
Yes,
what do you think, really? Because, people are using social media to gain happiness, I think social media just gives off saying, but that's on topic for today.
Yes.
But, are people really making as much money as they say? And, we've just said in the intro that it has actually opened up markets. You can stay at home and then you have a wonderful good, a product or service.
Absolutely.
And you don't need to rent a shop. So obviously it's considering cost.
Absolutely.
But we've also talked about the number of the contribution of SMEs to export. 7.2, which is
7.3.
7.3, 2.3, which is incredibly low. Do you think that social media can actually impact, these numbers?
I totally do think that it can impact, but if I start talking about it, they'll think I'm not an expert, which I am not. So
but just your opinion, just your opinion.
So I'm going to leave it to the experts, OTs, to tell us about it.
Okay, and thank you for breaking, not allowing me to introduce the guest. Thank you very much. I'm going to give you a penalty for that.
I'm sorry.
That being said, please, no, let's meet our guest. OT Ukubeyinje is vastly experienced digital marketing professional with over 10 years experience working across agency, brand, publisher, and marketing technology sides of the industry. He has managed so many successful digital projects across multiple markets and advised senior management on global brands on digital marketing and digital transformation. He is the current president of the Association of Digital Marketing Professionals. He currently heads product marketing and growth at Terragon, Africa's leading data aggregation and enrichment, insights and activation platform. OT is also a communications consultant to the African Union in areas of youth engagement and digital interactions. We also have with us in the studio Olugbemisola Adebayo, a beauty entrepreneur and businesswoman with over 20 years experience. She is the founder and CEO managing director of Hegai and Esther Limited, an indigenous makeup brand based in Lagos, Nigeria. Olugbemisola began her career in the beauty industry as a self-taught photographic makeup artist working with the foremost advertising and communications agencies in Nigeria, SONU, Sanche and Sanche Insights and Communication, and others. After a 6-year stint with the advertising space, she enrolled at the House of Tara International for a bridal beauty program. In 2008, Olugbemisola saw a unique opportunity to provide beauty tools and accessories for artists in the budding Nigerian makeup industry. This identified need resulted in the birth of Hegai and Esther brand as a destination for hygienic and safe beauty tools for makeup consumers across Nigeria. Hegai and Esther is now one of the top 5 makeup brands in Nigeria and arguably one of Africa's fastest growing beauty businesses, focused on mainstreaming safe beauty products made specifically for women of African descent. OT, and can I call you Bemi?
Please do.
Welcome to the show. We're so happy to have you. I like the mix. Yeah, the one that does the business and the one that has the numbers.
Exactly.
So
Perfect combination.
I'm telling you, so we can get all the answers. I'm so excited to have you both here.
Thank you for having me.
And I don't know whether, let me start with the numbers and then we'll match it up with the experience.
Absolutely.
And you've heard our banter and you've heard our opening. First and foremost, has social media changed the plane for SMEs?
Absolutely. If anything, it has encouraged more people to go into business in the most unpredicted and unexpected ways. People who just have stuff that they want to discard have gone into business because of social media. People who just were funding their wardrobes are now comedians getting paid for their act because of social media. So I would say it has done two things: giving people a platform to start and grow businesses, and help people turn talent into business.
Turning talent. I see the way you are shaking your head.
He basically just told the story of my life.
Exactly. So we want to hear from you, because you've been in this business for over 20 years. When you started, there was no social media. Well, there was no social media.
There wasn't. We're talking.
There was no social media.
There has social media been for 20 years?
I wouldn't say 20. Hold on, what are we now? 2021.
Yeah.
20
So
years,
stuff like
2021.
High Five was way back in 2005.
It wasn't
We
2000.
had Yahoo messaging, which was not.
Well,
Well,
I would say that was
thing
messaging,
then.
right? So if we
Even
talk
then,
about
it wasn't
social
as-
media as it is today,
Yes.
it pretty much starts with Facebook, right?
Yeah.
That's about 2007.
7 years.
Yes.
I probably hit Nigeria heavy around 2010, 2011.
Lebanon.
Thereabout, I think so.
Yeah, I started using it in 2008. Thereabout.
Well,
so-
don't be proud. Thank you very much. so back to Gbemi. So, you can tell us the dramatic change. I think you have experienced it. You have lived it. You came from an
my
era,
days.
where there was
The
no social
world of
media.
difference.
Thank you. So
The world
just
of
briefly tell us
difference.
how it has impacted you.
Okay, so when we started, it was basically traditional marketing. So we depended a lot on magazines. We depended a lot on radio and all of that for those who could afford it. I couldn't afford radio at that time, neither could I afford TV. So when I started my business, I had to make use of the existing platform at that time. There was a magazine then called Wedding Planner.
Yes.
If you remember.
Yes.
So as makeup artists,
You have to be there.
you
Yes,
have
you're right.
to be there.
Exactly.
And there was City People.
Oh, yes.
So those were platforms that we utilized. Then aside from that, we would go to the client directly. So like you said in the intro, I started off as a photographic makeup artist, and I worked basically with advertising agencies. So you would find me going to these places physically. I would go to book for appointments. I would go, so there was a lot of back and forth. No, he's not around, come back tomorrow, blah, blah. Of course, they wouldn't give you anybody's phone number. So a lot of leg work, a lot of, so it was, but I didn't know that we didn't have options. So it didn't look so bad. It was like, yeah, everybody does
That's
this.
what it's supposed to be.
So we did that, and it worked. It worked, but it was expensive. It was expensive. How many magazines, as a startup business, how many adverts could I do in a magazine? I think then it was 40,000 for half a page. It was not affordable, at that time. We're talking 2004. Yes, 2004. So we had to measure. We had to say, oh, okay, we'll do that. We'll advertise this month. We wouldn't advertise next month, and all of that. But it worked. But of course, you can't compare the results to what we're having today. So when I was introduced to social media, it was Facebook, like you said, and it was like, boom.
Wow.
Yes, it was a world of difference. All I had to do was to put a picture on my on my page, and people would ask questions. As a matter of fact, I posted pictures of products that I did not have. But I knew I could get the product. So that was basically how I started. So I spoke to the source, to the supplier, and I made her realize, okay, this is what I want to do. Can I get discounts from you when I get customers? I said, fine, yeah, if you can get 12 orders, I'll give you a discount. I got more than 12. Business started.
So how were you able to use social media to leverage on networking, basically with all, not just in Nigeria, but international as well?
Then. Okay,
between then and now.
When I started then, we had, of course, we over the years, we had grown a community of makeup artists, and there were groups, pages on Facebook, so I was in those groups.
Oops.
So what I did, very crude, but I did it. I would slide into their inboxes one by one. I'm talking 200 makeup artists. I would go to their inboxes and introduce myself to them. You know, apart from what I would post on the page generally, you know, so I used that to gain some form of traction, so people got to know me and all of that. And because I provided a unique product at that time, it was kind of easy for me to get clients. So when the orders grew, Instagram happened. I think Instagram was the next thing.
Yes.
Yeah, Instagram happened and all of that. So it was like a migration of clients from Facebook to Instagram. No, it was BBM.
How could we forget that?
Because it died a natural death.
It was BBM.
You cannot take that away.
You know, we can't.
Very true.
So it was like a migration of customers and all of that. So here we are today.
We'll come back to your international story because I also want to know how you made your international break. But let's talk of numbers. Okay. You know, you are in a place where you sit down and then you see the growth of these numbers.
Yeah.
Can you discuss the numbers to us so that we can probably appreciate how businesses have been able to, how the social media platform have been able to enable businesses? So share with us some numbers, you know, in terms of the growth. Over the past 5 years, have they been growing arithmetically or geometrically? What's the growth been like?
Interesting. So truth is, social media platforms are never accurate with their numbers because that's a business tool itself, right?
Okay.
But there are ways you can sort of infer from what's published out there and what you'll find in the system, especially the ones that allow for advertising. So I would say when I moved back to Nigeria in 2015, Facebook was doing about 23 million then, right? Monthly active, reachable audience, right? Yeah, about between 22 and 23 million back in 2015. Today, it's about 28 million, right?
Wow.
On its own. When you add Instagram on top of that, because that's a complete ecosystem, it goes to about 30 plus, right? When you separate it, Instagram today should be anywhere about 8 million-ish, right? Far back, say, another 5 years ago, that thing was less than 3 million.
Wow.
Right. So Instagram has seen more significant growth than Facebook itself. And that is because a large number of Instagram followers or users were migrated from Facebook.
Wow.
Yeah. So that growth naturally happened. So in fact, Instagram, if you look at whenever Instagram takes a bite of any of the new platforms, like a Snapchat feature or a TikTok feature,
they get to increase.
they get more adoption than the main platform itself because that audience is feeding off Facebook and it has a larger ecosystem than the new guys who are coming up. It just needs to nick a feature and then it adds to the adoption of Instagram. If we look at Twitter today, that's the most controversial one, right?
I saw your post on LinkedIn.
Yeah, no.
That's not the topic.
Yeah, so I had to call that out, right? Because today I'm hearing numbers, 40 million, 30 million, and stuff like that. The last time I got numbers from a Twitter partner was in 2018-ish, early 2018, and it was still about 2.5 million then, right? So it's not possible to go 40 million. 2.5 million around
I think it's on big tables.
If you check the report I posted a couple of days ago, we are social reports, social metrics across markets, and they were clear about the source. When you go into the platform, it tells you the number of people you can reach within a given month. That is addressable monthly active user base, and it's still about 3 million plus in Nigeria. Right. So
let's leave from shaking tables to talk about to talk about the tools, because I also see that with the growth of the platforms, the business tools, there's an improvement on business tools every day. So you can now register on this platform either as a business or as a person.
Exactly.
Now, when we talk about the numbers, because you're going to tell us of how this has affected your reach, because it's going to come. When you talk about the numbers, do you see more businesses, so apart from just going to post on their on like
DM,
what do you
slide
call it?
into
No,
their
not
DM.
the DMs,
The timelines.
the timelines.
Okay, timelines. Okay.
Do small businesses actually use these tools that are being provided to actually better their business?
Yeah.
The insights.
So in fact, I work in advertising, and we're constantly trying to crack how to get small businesses to use digital advertising themselves, right? Google is struggling with it because there's no natural Google platform that we spend hours on, right?
Yes.
Even Opera, for example, is still struggling with it to get small businesses on board. Again, because there's no natural platform that businesses use for organic purposes, right?
Yeah.
Facebook cracks it because the shift from organic use to paid use is so seamless. You see what I mean? So I could have a post. To start a whole campaign that you need an agency for is just a button. You see what I mean? It's literally just a button. As far as you have the business page, it's just a button, add payment, voila. The AI does almost every other thing, right? So I would say, in terms of adoption of social media platform and the business tools they offer, it is indeed getting decent adoption from businesses. A lot of people have switched to WhatsApp Business as well because of the first autoresponder and the fact that you can have a little catalog and display multiple products within that system itself. And all the other things. I'm sure as they try to, one of the reasons why it's even slow now is because payment has not been properly integrated for people to purchase things completely directly. You see what I mean? So the moment that gets switched on, I think we'll even see even more adoption. I can't remember now the number that Facebook reported for its business suite users, right? It's a significant number. It's tracking in the millions, almost like 40% of its total base.
Wow.
People
So-
who have switched to business.
Sorry,
yeah.
let me just
I have a
continue.
question.
No, Issy, we will take your question after we come back. And when we come back, really, we'll begin to talk about international barriers and how small businesses can use this platform, or even how they're using this platform to reach international markets. So we'll see you shortly after the break.
Okay.
If you just tuned in, we're discussing social media, a tool for breaking international trade barriers. Let's hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 08180384663. Now back to it. So I'd allow you ask your question. Ask your question first, and then
Okay,
we'll talk
so
about
one
it.
quick one to you, Otis.
Yeah.
My OT, pardon me.
No problem.
So,
There's plenty of me.
so we know that with the advent of COVID, it actually brought a different dynamics to the use of social media and how we use it to reach out to our clients. So, what's your take on SMEs that really do not know how to integrate the use of social media on a daily basis?
I say you have work to do, right? And you're missing out at the same time. So your question is not the willingness to do it, but the knowledge
Yes,
on how to do it.
on how to do it.
I would say,
And probably if there is a platform where they can actually use to actually get this knowledge.
yeah. So so every platform basically has a learning suite,
Yeah,
but many people don't like structured learning,
yeah.
right? They prefer show and tell type of thing. So I would say quick videos on YouTube are bound, right? Where you could just go how to switch from personal to business page on Instagram. It's there. How to set up a Facebook ad is there. So I'll say YouTube is your university to be able to learn how to use social media for business. Yeah, and then it doesn't stop there. Most times when you read a lot of articles, right, online about social media, they are designed for you to register or sign up for newsletters that will send you weekly tips and weekly prompts, right? But for me, I think one of the most immediate one is the platform itself. It prompts you to do stuff.
Okay.
So for example, if you post something amazing on Facebook or Instagram and it's doing pretty well, as far as you have switched to the business profile, it will tell you this post is doing
Promote
better
it.
than 90%. Just promote it. Really follow that advice.
Okay.
Yeah, follow it. Because
Noted.
it's not human suggested. The machine is showing you what's happening. All the platforms are now designed to do that, right? If you're trying to promote your own personal self on LinkedIn, it tells you what to do, really. So follow the prompt and just see how it goes and learn. That's what I would say.
I see the way
Awesome.
Bimi is shaking her
Oh,
head.
yeah,
So
that's-
yes, please. Testify.
I mean,
No, but let me ask a question to including your testimony. You know, first you talk about the tools, and secondly, I know that Esther, Hegai and Esther have gone internationally. How did social media help you do that? Because that's what we want to talk about.
So when I traveled to the UK and I had just a small tea party. I invited friends, you know, come hang out with me. I want to introduce my products to you and all of that. And when I did that, somebody did sign up as a distributor. So I thought to myself, how do I let more Europeans get to know that I'm here now? Simple. I just did what we call targeted marketing. So I went to Instagram and sponsored some ads, but targeted people in the UK. I targeted people, just UK. And you won't believe it. I got orders from France. I got orders from, what's this place called? Azerbaijan. And I'm wondering, how did you, so basically Instagram helped me to
Reach out.
to be more visible to this market, in this market space. I'm able to make use of the analytical tools that they give to me, not just internationally, but even locally. Locally, like what I do is I go to my back end, or what we call analytical tools, and I look at the people that follow me the most, their age group, what
You are doing real work.
That's
Big.
We have to let
big.
other SMEs
even big
Masterclass
companies,
material.
even big companies are now, utilizing these tools on social. You just have to make use of social media to stay relevant. I don't know if correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like people search for products first on social media before they even go to Google now.
I
don't
do.
know.
I
don't
do.
know.
I do.
I don't know.
I do. I do.
I mean, I want to buy something and I go to Instagram.
And hashtag.
Shoes, hashtag wet shoes in Ikeja. Do you get?
Yeah.
Before I go
I
to
think
Google.
you're more likely to get more, if it's not a physical place that you're looking for, you're more likely to get more results locally from social than
Yes.
through
And-
Google,
and-
if it's not a physical
Yeah,
place.
yeah. And then we as Nigerians, we're very, what's the word? We like personalized.
Yes.
Experiences,
smart
yeah.
Yes, experience. So
exactly.
Google wouldn't give me that. But
Exactly.
this guy on Instagram
Who talk
would be,
to me.
yes,
Yes.
tops 1 hour, hopefully, this person would reply me,
Yes.
so yeah. So
Okay, so let me follow up that question with saying, when you sell your goods internationally, what denomination do you sell in?
the nation of the country, my sister.
Dollars. So you get my question is it possible to have lots of, because let's be factual. Okay, the only place where we're getting this forex from is when we sell our oil.
Yes.
You get. Do we see an army of small businesses, okay, apart from also oil and then depending on those in diaspora and those money? Do we see businesses actually crossing these international barriers just as she has done, utilizing social media? Will it become significant? Will it?
I hope so.
She said, I hope so.
Earlier this year, or was it last year, when Paystack announced that it had been acquired by Stripe, it was a big deal.
It was.
Yeah?
It was.
Good. That celebration was within the startup ecosystem,
Yes.
right? Awesome, unicorn stuff. They followed that with one major announcement. You can now operate a PayPal account via Paystack. Do you know who celebrated that the most? Small businesses.
Small businesses. Okay.
Yes. They made the biggest noise out of that, simply because they've been starving on how to receive payments in foreign currency.
Good.
Right? And I'll give you a very practical example. I have a PayPal account, but if you go on that PayPal account right now, the logo there is a life, fashion and beauty related logo. It's not my face anymore. Do you know why?
Why?
Because I've had to loan my PayPal account to someone who runs a fashion and beauty Instagram page that's in probably about 250K, 300K plus, highly engaged page. And she receives payment for advertising in dollars and euros every other day.
Wow.
Wait, say that again.
Say it again. It's like, say it again. Let me write it.
Okay. I had to loan out my PayPal page, or my PayPal account, sorry, right? And rebranded it because a friend who runs a lifestyle and beauty page, fashion and beauty more like, with over 250K followers, receives money in dollars and euros and pounds every other day from people internationally that want to advertise on that page.
Wow.
The audience is very mixed but highly engaged, right? It's the audience has followers are people from all over the world.
Wow.
So you have both Nigerians and predominantly, in fact, I only see the non-Nigerian part because she received the Nigerian one in her Naira account. But the non-Nigerians paying as much as $20, $50, $100 for advertising on Instagram should not hear this because but she's raking in her forex from advertising, right? She's not even selling a product yet. She's just pushing content. Imagine if she decides to push her own handbags through that page. She's not only receiving advert money now, but she's receiving product sale money through Instagram. Do you see what I mean? So just imagine when Instagram now decides to switch on payment in multiple currencies.
Yeah, because I used to wonder, there's some international pages you go and then on the image themselves you can say how much it costs, product information, and probably lead you to where you make payments. But we don't have that yet in the country for reasons I don't know why.
Yeah, it was a phased rollout. I think it's based on e-commerce adoption in most of the markets, right? Because if you notice, for those ones, it links back to the website that hosts that e-commerce product, right? But what we're waiting for is, let me pay on the platform, on Instagram
So you say
itself.
that there is hope, but it's also dependent on how far the SME can expose themselves to international markets and willing to do business there.
Yeah.
Wow.
So for a lot of businesses, what we do is, so we advertise a product on social media, and then people are being led to the website. Because, like you said, we don't have that
instant purchase function
on Instagram yet.
Or they go into your DMs and they engage you in your DM.
Yes. So, but for them to pay, for them to use their cards, thank God for Paystack, we direct them to the website, and it works. And so, because we have distributors in the UK, in the United States as well, we just tell the distributor to do the delivery.
To do the delivery. And so I can see this really answering the questions that we're asking this night.
Exactly.
There's an enablement. So unlike the days where you had to physically go to a DHL to do that transaction, you don't have to do that anymore. Easy, please.
So if you had to tell an individual who is interested in going into or using the social media platform right now, what would be your first advice? Or give me 5 quick nuggets that you could tell them to quickly use to be able to use the social media platform
effectively.
Since you have been the guru.
So I grew, we have just slightly over 80,000 followers on Instagram, and these are organic, real people. They are not robots.
Exactly.
And they're organic.
They are buying
generated. Exactly. So I'm going to say to this person, don't be in a hurry. I'm going to say to you, grow your followers organically. Why? You need to know if you're really growing.
Yes.
You need to be able to measure your growth, and the only way you can measure the growth is if you grow your followers organically. So patience, I would say. 2, I would say have a unique product. Now, me saying have a unique product doesn't mean go create a unique product that has never existed. No. I'm just going to say, there must be something unique about it. Yes,
it.
innovation is not just creating something that has never existed before. Innovation can mean taking this sheet of paper and
making
just
it better.
bend it a bit,
making it different
yes,
from
just
every other product.
Yeah, so I'm going to say that be innovative. And 3, you have to do the work. Like he said, I do a lot of reading, a lot of studying, and all of that. I should do more, but I try. I'm going to say study. I'm going to say study. I'm going to say make use of, well, as a small business, you probably can't afford influencer marketing right now. But I'm going to say make use of your friends, make use of your families. We do some things, like calling my friend, like my comment, post it, repost it. We have to.
So you're working on the algorithm.
Yes.
That was how we grew. Tell your friends about it. Actually go to their inboxes. Could you please help me repost
So
this?
your immediate network is
Yes, so
important.
I'm making use of they need to make use of their existing network of friends, of family members to help them spread this news of your existence, So yeah, basically that, yeah. And just be patient. A seed is planted today. It's going to take a while for this seed.
For us to blow. Can we wait?
Just be patient. And don't lie. Don't promise what you
cannot do.
The funny thing, the internet never forgets. So that's unlike if someone comes to your physical shop and tomorrow you say, who said it? I said it. No, somebody will just send you the screenshots of what you said.
True.
So Oti, being in your capacity, in your position, and also having interacted with these platforms and with the SMEs, how would you say that SMEs should better position themselves to take full advantage of what the platforms are offering?
Good question. I would say, first of all, consistency, right? Be consistent. Don't start today and stop tomorrow. Post every day, really, from a availability perspective, right? Imagine you turn on the TV and PlusTV is offline today. That breaks the relationship.
Yes.
Straight away.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's the same thing. You're building a relationship. You become their TV. Whether you're selling something or advising them or supporting them, just be consistent. The second part with social media marketing is it's not really about selling your product. It's about offering value. Right?
Key.
Yeah.
Very key.
It's about offering value because your products are limited. Even if you show one angle today, show one angle tomorrow, show another angle, people will get exhausted, right? Your page will be repetitive. So because you're thinking about content from a daily perspective, or twice a day, whatever it is, the content is never too much for social media, right? So that means you constantly need to think of how you would deliver value to people. The man that educated you, you're forever indebted to. So give people knowledge on how to use your product, on how to live a better life in general, right? There's a concept I got from a movie. It says the 3 most important things to human beings are time, love, and death, right? We are constantly trying to save time so we can do more. We're constantly seeking love, and we're constantly trying to avoid or delay death. Those 3 pillars can define the content for any business, right? So if you just say, somewhere in between, everybody in this room is trying to save time. Everybody in this room is trying to attract love. That's why you all look so beautiful today, because that love needs to come, right?
Yes, so.
Everybody needs to push death away. Think of how you can solve these 3 as a business with content on social media, and you will have content for days.
Steady.
Wow.
You see what I mean?
Time, love,
And death.
and
So
death.
save time, attract love, push death away or delay death.
Lessons for
Those
the
who
day.
And
so
be real, don't sound
Yeah.
cliche about it. There's so many people on Instagram that supposedly, preach these messages of
Yeah.
da da da.
By
Be
the way, they
authentic.
say we
It's
have
not
more
real,
coaches than
exactly.
business.
Yeah.
It has to be real.
It has to come
Yeah.
from within. Be
Yes.
authentic.
Yes.
You
It
just
has
need to be
to.
authentic
Because
about
people
it.
can sense if it's
Yeah,
not
of
real.
course,
Fake.
of course. Just be as natural,
As possible.
authentic as possible.
I agree because even with why we can relate to some of the skits that we see and the memes is how real they are to us.
Us, how we can
How
relate
best,
with them.
exactly, how best they depict our life situation. So it's not too
Exactly.
far. You don't have to really think about what you're doing, what's that. And I think these are valuable lessons, you know.
I want, sorry, especially on Instagram. I mean, first of all, pick your battle. You can't win all platforms, right? Pick your battle. If you're a Facebook person, deal with it.
Stick
Instagram,
with it.
Twitter.
Stick with it.
If you're Instagram, because that's where a lot of the business happens, quality of content really matters. Don't put tacky stuff on Instagram.
You're right.
The same way we said, what's happening with the visuals, and you said, you get what I mean?
Yes.
People see it and it's off-putting. Invest in quality content. Let it be sharp. That editing tools, even this platform allows you to do the editing. Invest in that quality content. Automatically, you'll find out somebody who's just selling beads will look like they're selling Versace jewelry because of the picture quality. So invest in quality. Get a good phone. Good camera.
But don't do what I ordered versus what I got. The negative one. Please, as a consumer, please, if you are editing, please edit with the fear of God. Edit with the fear of God, though, because I don't want to be disappointed when I get it. Because, you know, you had photoshopped the entire life out of the
I know.
Be like Hegai and Esther, you know.
Have you seen the quality on her page?
I'm telling you. Yes.
Have you seen the state of her page?
Thank you.
It's very
And we
good.
can see it live. You know, they say it live.
Thank you. Give it up to Hegai and Esther.
Okay, so before we go, because I know that I just want both of you to point out mistakes that people do that hamper this growth that we talk about. Because, you know, by virtue of my daytime job, I see a lot of people struggling. And especially, there's something key that you mentioned. Advertising is now cheaper. You can reach more people with less amount. You get, but you see people stay on the platform. They don't even do stories. They don't do any form of interaction. So let me not just point it out, but I don't know, who do I start with first? Let me start with maybe our practical.
So the mistakes they make. Okay, so I'm just going to say that your brand is a person and your brand has an identity. People should know your brand. People should know what you stand for. And it should reflect in the message you put out there. It should reflect in the content that you put out there. You know, so, and then you need to, like I said, consistency. People start, they don't see results immediately. And then they give up. They say it's not working. They say it's, oh no, this thing is not for me. Oh, let me try Facebook. Let me try Instagram. Let me try Twitter, LinkedIn. Whatever it is, just stay there and keep doing it. Keep putting your brand out there for people to see. And, you know, let your value be known. Let people know. Say it. This is what is different about me.
Okay, so we have to run. So what's it? 20 seconds. Last word.
Very quickly. One, tell stories, don't sell.
Wow.
Tell stories. Two, respond fast. Don't keep people hanging.
Wow.
That's all.
Thank you very much. Like, I don't know how to thank you because I am getting life lessons even for myself.
Absolutely.
Wow, I don't know if you if you learned anything today, but I did. But before we go, do ensure that you follow us on Instagram at PlusTvAfrica. You can interact with us further, drop a comment, and most importantly, we're planning a huge giveaway just to say thank you for watching and believing in the Waze brand and follow the conversation. So do well to follow us on Instagram at PlusTvAfrica. Like, share, comment, and invite your friends and family to watch and follow us. Please, so this practical. Please help us do it. If you missed today's quote, here it is again. Trade has been the cornerstone of our growth and global development. But we will not be able to sustain this growth if it favors only the few and not the many. And that was said by Barack Obama. So until we see you on Monday, where we bring another great conversation on your screen. Cheers. Bye.